Hi light workers, I thought I would come on today and do a video about coming full circle and when we're working on ourselves during our healing process and our weight loss process. If we've been through a trauma, like the traumas that I've been through, and it's like I'm listening to my spiritual teacher today, and I'm so grateful that I have my spirituality to get me through things, because it definitely helps me to come full circle. And learning about coming full circle and how we project onto others what we need to learn. And understanding, even though it's very tough for me to understand that when I was a child, the traumas that happened were things that I needed to learn. Coming full circle with that was quite tough. Thinking, the abuser was a lesson that I needed to learn in this lifetime and so forth, because we were an abuser in another lifetime. And this is quite a tough lesson to learn, and just thinking that we're really here to get off the victim cycle, because I'm not saying that abuse is great, and I'm not saying being the victim is great. These are just the lessons that I'm diving into mentally so that I can move forward on my journey. Pardon me. And they're not easy lessons to come to terms with. I still feel, I'm still human. I still get upset. I still get hurt. I still get angry. I still get frustrated. This is all natural things to feel, because what was done is not correct. And that's what we're learning on this journey. The abuser is projecting their demons onto us, because in another lifetime we were them, and in another lifetime they were the victim, and so forth and so forth. I can look at it from this point of view because I came into this lifetime, as I have told you once before, remembering my past lives, and this was obviously gifted to me so that I could come to the earth at this time and help others to learn to heal from what they were meant to heal from through the cycles of their lives, to stop coming back and being on the victim wheel, because that is part of the lesson of being here. The abuser's on the victim wheel, the victim is on the victim wheel, and then it goes round and round and round. Abuser, victim, abuser, victim, abuser, victim. This is the way that I look at it, and it just becomes a cycle. And we're stuck in the cycle. We're the victim, we're angry, we're pissed off, we're frustrated, we go out, we do vengeance. Not all of us do. I'm just saying in the past what happened before we got to where we are now, and where we're becoming more conscious of what has been happening to us as we've incarnated. And that is part of the healing process, so that we move forward, and whether we were the abuser or the victim in one lifetime or another, we can let go of that. And I'm not saying that that's an easy process, but it is the process of coming back home to you and understanding that the authentic self came here for that experience, so that we can get off this cycle of like victim, abuser, victim, abuser, victim, abuser, victim, abuser, because whether you know it or not, it is fully a victimhood cycle that we are here to let go of and go up and live the life that we are meant to live, which is love, because we are all born from love. And then when we're here, we're learning these things because we volunteered to learn these things, and we wanted to see what it was like to not have a life of pure love. And I remember a time visiting my father in Sirius, and the Sirius B, where I was from, was the planet of pure love. And I just remember feeling the most unconditional love when I was there, and everything was magnificent and bright pink and beautiful. And I know I was an elemental because we had no body and we just had eyes. And I just remember the hugs and everything, because they had missed the connection with me so much. And it was amazing. And I remember they showed me part of my lifetime there, and part of the reason that I volunteered to come help here was because I was bored, apparently. I was bored of total peace and total love. I was bored. It'd get up every day and everything was balanced and peaceful and everything was gorgeous and just total love. And I was bored. And I thought Earth would be an adventure. That was part of my thinking while I was on a planet where everything was complete harmony and complete love. I was so bored. I was like, I'm coming to Earth for an adventure. It is so different when you get here and you become a soul in your temple and you go through some of the things that you thought would be an adventure, and you are wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and you have not known anything except absolute bliss and pure love. The Earth brings you crashing down to total, like, gratitude on your knees for, like, basically the grass is not greener on the other side and wanting to go home. And then realizing you signed up for this adventure and it is a lot more than you bargained for. And I can laugh about it now because part of me, after experiencing that, goes, what the heck were you thinking, girlfriend? I was thinking it would be an adventure. Let's just put it this way. It was an adventure in a way that I never expected. Yeah. To say the least. And that's only one aspect of me that volunteered. There's probably another lot of aspects that volunteered because I have seen myself as a forerunner, that I've not only been on Earth, but I've been to many other planets. And, you know, it is a learning experience, and I'd have to say this is the toughest school around. Earth is not the school for the faint-hearted. This is the school for the warriors, honey. So if you're here, give yourself credit, because you are a warrior. 100 billion%. You are a damn warrior. So yeah, that is part of the healing. Giving ourselves more credit, you know. Realizing that we're more powerful than we want to give ourselves credit for, and getting rid of the victim cycle, like I said. And your body remembers. It does, trust me. I was doing anatomy because I'm doing my anatomy and physiology. And I'm preparing because I have an exam soon. And just learning the physiology of myself, of a woman, triggered me from the trauma that I had when I was younger. And it triggered a memory that, like, I didn't consciously remember. Like, I remember the trauma, and I remember the moment that I discovered myself, you know, with that person. And because of another person, which I've already told you about, but just going into what happened to me recently. I'm studying the human anatomy, the lady anatomy, the male anatomy. I can look at the male anatomy and I get not triggered one bit. I just go, yep, that's a man, that's what it looks like, that's cool, that's groovy, that works there, that works there. That is awesome, not a problem. I start looking at the female anatomy, it becomes quite difficult for me, because then I go into the trigger memories of what happened to me as a child. And I go, oh, holy cow. And I will not trigger anyone else because I've already told you my story. But just going into part of the anatomy, it triggered a memory of the first time that it happened. And I did not have that clear memory. Even in therapy, I did not have that clear memory. And to be honest with you, I'm quite glad, because when that memory came up only yesterday, I think I nearly vomited. And prior to that, I had been doing a spiritual detox and fixing my energy and cleaning my energy, because I had been out in a crowd and I tend to need to clear my energy because I pick up the collective energy very, you know, I'm not even going to put it out there, but I just do. And that's me. And I was detoxing myself, and I did have quite a bad day where I couldn't keep food down. But in saying that, I studied in the afternoon, and I just was drinking my water, and I had realized my body had already started memorizing that trauma. And that was partially probably another reason why I was not only, like, detoxing with the vomiting, but I was probably detoxing that memory of the first time of the trauma. But I will give you this if anything ever comes up for you to put fear in your body. You know, fear only has the power that you give it. Yes, your body has the memories. Acknowledge them so that you can start the healing on the journey. But it really only has the power that you keep giving it, and the power that the story keeps giving it. Like, work through it with your body. Acknowledge the trauma. See, I'm even struggling to get my words out now. Just give me a minute. So yeah, work through your trauma with your body. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge yourself. And yeah, I'm even having an out-of-body experience. Just give me a minute to ground myself with my wood here, because this does get tough, because the memory was quite like daunting that came up for me, because I had really blocked it, and I had always wondered about it and everything. But yeah, now I know. And I couldn't scream at the time, but internally I now know that I was screaming when that person did what they did. And I'm going to keep touching my wood, because so that I can get through this and I don't take off. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, it's really tough for me to like get this out for you guys, because as you can see, it still affects me today, 40 something years later, and I have been working on myself daily. I haven't just gone, oh, just tuck this in the corner and it'll heal itself. No, it won't. Yeah, it's coming full circle and just getting off the victim wheel. And it sometimes can be like, you know, on, off, on, off, on, off, because you go back on because there's a lesson that universe wants to teach you. And yeah, it's just really, really tough to understand this. But I remember being there and just telling myself, you know, you've done something that a lot of people can't do. I forgave the abuser, and that took everything in me. And I still look at him and I still feel sick, and I still look at the woman that hurt me too, and I'll never forget the moment I sat in the room with her, and I still told you I couldn't hardly sit next to her without nearly wanting to vomit. And it just, you know, I was trying to see it from a different perspective, so I didn't keep carrying their demons. And then coming to another realization that they are a projection of me that I had to learn a lesson from is an even tougher thing, to think that in one lifetime that was me, and in this lifetime I am now the victim and not the abuser. And to feel the projection of that being seen was the lesson. But it's also the lesson to move forward and not carry that with me for the whole lifetime, so that I can leave and not keep going on the karmic cycle of victimhood. That's a really tough lesson, to realize that that is an illusion and a projection of you with a lesson in it. And it's like, when you get through that lesson, honey, you definitely make a warrior status. I can't say I've fully gotten through it, but I am quite close to it, and maybe it'll take me a lifetime, and that's okay. But, you know, I can keep acknowledging and acknowledging and acknowledging, and not denying the feelings and not tucking them down. And my spiritual self definitely helped me on that journey. And, you know, it's not always an easy journey. Sometimes we pick a crutch. I picked food. And, you know, I have my days. We all do. But I get back up and I get back on the horse and I keep going. And that's all I can say to you is, you know, is coming full circle and seeing the higher perspective and taking the middle road can be a very tough journey and not an easy one. And you need to feel all those feelings no matter what anybody says to you. Because being in denial is not good, because, you know, you want to release it so that you're not holding it in your body, and you're not ending up with diseases, and you're not ending up with other issues. So yeah, that was kind of a realization coming full circle. looking at the illusion that is the projection of you and the lesson, and rising above the lesson and getting off the victimhood cycle. Be proud of yourself if you are getting up and doing that every day, because that is part of the journey that you are winning on. So go be brave, go be strong, go be gorgeous, and go take care of yourself and be in your light and your love and be in your healthiness. And I hope in some way my beautiful ramblings of the soul have helped you to open the ramblings of your soul. Mwah. Love, light and blessings. Go be gorgeous.